The Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra is getting absolutely glowing coverage everywhere. World's first privacy display, Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 exclusivity, professional APV video codec, the Android flagship to beat in 2026. And look, a lot of that is genuinely true. The S26 Ultra is a seriously powerful smartphone. But there's stuff Samsung isn't highlighting in the marketing materials. Things reviewers are glossing over because they're too mesmerized by that privacy screen. Hidden limitations that might actually matter to you before you hand over $1,400. Plus, we're working hard to get you the best deal on Samsung S26 Ultra. Check out the video description before they end. Now, let's dive in. The privacy display is a Trojan horse. This is the headline feature. Samsung's new Flex Magic Pixel technology lets you toggle a setting and instantly restrict the screen so nobody next to you can read it. For that one specific use case, it works. But here's what the marketing leaves out. The physical layer required to enable directional pixel technology permanently alters the screen's optics, even when privacy mode is completely switched off. Tilt the screen even slightly and you immediately see severe color shifting, especially on whites. Colors drift. The screen dims noticeably when someone sitting next to you is trying to look at a photo you're showing them. That's not a software bug. That's a permanent hardware tax baked into the physical display stack. It gets worse. Samsung earned enormous praise for the anti-reflective coating on the S24 and S25 Ultra. People loved how readable those screens were outdoors. The S26 Ultra lists a third-generation anti-reflective coating on the spec sheet. But in real-world use, it reflects more ambient light than its predecessor because the additional Flex Magic panel overlay directly counteracts the anti-glare treatment. The screen that was supposed to give you privacy ends up giving you glare instead. And then there's a software problem sitting on top of the hardware problem. Samsung's Now Brief AI feature, which surfaces daily summaries and calendar reminders on your home screen, sits completely outside the Privacy app container logic. It bypasses the privacy shield entirely. So the very thing you might need this display to protect is the thing it absolutely cannot protect automatically. The battery hasn't moved at all. Here's a number: 5,000 mAh. That's the battery in the S26 Ultra. It's also the battery in the S25 Ultra, and the S24 Ultra, and the S23 Ultra. 4 generations, zero change, while the rest of the industry charges forward. The OnePlus 15 ships with 7,300 mAh. The Xiaomi 17 Ultra carries 6,800 mAh. Both use silicon-carbon battery chemistry, which allows for dramatically higher energy density in the same physical space. Samsung's official position is that silicon-carbon cells degrade faster. They rate their lithium-ion batteries for up to 2,000 charge cycles, while SiC competitors rate theirs for around 1,000. That's a legitimate engineering consideration, but it doesn't explain away the 30 to 40% capacity gap you're living with every single day. And that gap matters more than ever on the S26 Ultra specifically. Think about what this phone is running. Heavy agentic AI in the background, an 8K APV video pipeline, a massive 120Hz display. Heavy users are going to be hunting for a charger by early afternoon. That's a 2026 flagship running on a 2023 battery strategy. Samsung did increase wired charging to 60 watts, up from 45 watts, and 0 to 75% in 30 minutes is genuinely faster. But the new 60-watt brick isn't in the box. You have to buy it separately. And Xiaomi is already doing 90 to 120 watts, while Samsung celebrates catching up to speeds that were mainstream 3 years ago. The Qi2 situation, the titanium downgrade, and the AI paywall. 3 more things the marketing glosses over, and they all matter. First, the S26 Ultra has no built-in Qi2 magnets. Samsung's official explanation is that most Galaxy users use cases anyway, so they moved the magnetic ring into the case layer. The real reason is the S Pen. Internal neodymium magnets create electromagnetic interference that produces literal dead zones where the stylus refuses to register. Apple and Google can integrate Qi2 natively because their phones don't have sensitive EMR digitizers. Samsung simply cannot without a full internal redesign they weren't willing to do. The result? Third-party magnetic cases from Spigen, OSnap, and Pitaka trigger a hardware warning telling you magnets may interfere with your S Pen. To avoid that, you need Samsung's own first-party magnetic case, around $50, just to use a feature that comes built into every competing flagship for free. Second, the titanium frame is gone. Samsung marketed the S24 and S25 Ultra's aerospace-grade titanium aggressively. The S26 Ultra quietly reverted to aluminum, framed as a weight and comfort improvement. The real drivers were thermals and cost. The Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 runs extremely hot, and aluminum dissipates heat 10 to 12 times more efficiently than titanium. TSMC wafer costs also rose by up to 24% this cycle, making the switch to cheaper aluminum an easy margin decision. The lighter phone is a genuine benefit, but don't mistake a cost and thermal decision for a premium design upgrade. Third, the AI paywall is closer than Samsung admits. The previous Galaxy AI terms explicitly stated features were complimentary through 2025. The language now reads, Galaxy AI basic features provided by Samsung are free. Basic features provided by Samsung. 3 qualifiers doing a lot of heavy lifting. Advanced agentic behaviors and third-party AI model access are already moving toward a subscription structure in South Korea. The infrastructure to charge you monthly for features you're buying this phone for today is firmly in place. So, why should you still buy it? Here's the thing. We just covered the real trade-offs honestly, and you deserve to hear all of them. But the S26 Ultra still makes a compelling, sometimes exceptional case for upgrading, particularly if you're coming from an S23 Ultra or older. The APV codec is a genuine first. No other Android phone has the advanced professional video codec. Not one. APV records up to 8K at 30 FPS with visually lossless compression, 422 chroma subsampling, up to 16-bit color depth. When you bring this footage into DaVinci Resolve or Premiere for color grading, you have a massive amount of data to work with. No compression artifacts, no gradient banding, just rich, malleable footage that holds up under heavy post-production. This is the direction professional cinema has been moving for years. Samsung just put it in your pocket, and nothing in the Android space touches it. If you shoot video seriously, the S26 Ultra just became the most capable tool in the mobile market. Full stop. The camera upgrades are real hardware gains. The primary camera moved from f1.7 to f1.4, roughly 47 to 50% more light hitting the sensor. In practical terms, sharper shots in dim environments, faster shutter speeds that actually freeze motion, and more natural optical bokeh that doesn't look like a software filter. The periscope telephoto also brightened from f3.4 to f2.9, making night zoom shots a noticeably different experience. The S26 Ultra still offers the most versatile camera system on Android. Competitors with 1-inch sensors may win in pure dynamic range tests, but they often sacrifice flexibility to get there. The S26 Ultra keeps the entire package: 200-megapixel primary, 5x periscope, 3x optical, and makes all 3 meaningfully better in low light. For most real-world shooting situations, nothing beats it. The Snapdragon performance and cooling are finally solved. Samsung genuinely figured out the thermal problem this generation. The 21% larger vapor chamber, advanced thermal interface materials applied directly to the processor, and the shift to aluminum all add up to a phone that sustains its performance under load far better than its predecessors. The Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 for Galaxy is the fastest mobile chip on the planet right now. And crucially, it's fast without immediately throttling. Previous Ultra generations posted blazing benchmarks that collapsed under sustained load. The S26 Ultra holds its clock speeds significantly longer, a difference you feel in extended gaming sessions, prolonged video recording, and heavy background AI processing. Who should upgrade and who should wait? If you're on an S23 Ultra or older, the upgrade math is strong. 3 years of camera improvements, a completely new generation of AI capability, the APV codec, and a chip in a different performance tier altogether. If you're a video creator who's been waiting for a smartphone that can genuinely function as a cinematic B-roll camera, your wait is over. The APV codec, combined with the f1.4 aperture and the improved sustained cooling, changes what's possible. If you handle sensitive information professionally and you're tired of managing screen privacy awkwardly in airports, open offices, and ride shares, The Privacy Display, hardware trade-offs and all, is solving a real problem that no other phone is addressing. If you're on an S25 Ultra already, the calculus is tighter. Better camera apertures and the APV codec are meaningful, but probably not a one-year upgrade unless video production is central to your workflow. The S26 Ultra earns its place at the top of Android. It gets there with more asterisks than Samsung's marketing department wants you to count, but it gets there. Know what you're getting. Best-in-class chip performance with thermal management that actually works. A first-of-its-kind professional video codec. Real camera aperture improvements that show up in everyday shots. And hardware-level screen privacy that no other flagship offers. Know what you're giving up. A battery frozen in time while competitors race ahead, a Qi2 workaround that costs extra and adds friction, and AI features that may not stay free through your ownership window. Go in with both eyes open, and this phone will reward you. Now you know both sides. Use our secure links to lock in the latest deals. Subscribe to Valid Consumer for more deep dives like this, and I'll see you in the next one.